Growing up in Switzerland, Sarah Marquis had never heard of solo extreme walking. But by the age of 17, she was walking across continents by herself. Now 42, she's an explorer for National Geographic. Her new book, Wild by Nature, is about one of her most extreme journeys, from Siberia all the way to Australia. I met her at the New York's famed Explorers Club, but this story begins near Russia's border with Mongolia.
So here we are, the time to go now.
When Sarah Marquis took her first steps, she knew from past travel she would be unprepared. It takes her 6 months of walking to physically adapt. That's also how long it takes to declutter her mind.
You've got still the voice of your family going through, your friend, and then you've got this amazing moment where one morning you wake up and all that is gone.
When you are not hearing all those voices, once you've tuned it all out, what do you appreciate more?
You are in the moment. And this is sharp, it is clear, things are really, really, really focused. And you feel this belonging with the planet.
Marquis says the initial idea to walk from Siberia through the Gobi Desert to China, then to Laos and on to Thailand, before taking a cargo boat to Brisbane, Australia, to walk across that continent, came to her while she was walking home from the grocery store.
And then I turned around, and behind me was this little travel shop, and in the window was this massive green picture. That was in Mongolia. And you can feel the picture was taking you in. And so then I came back home, didn't think much about it, and then this idea, this picture actually grew in me.
Do you remember the first person you told the idea to?
Oh, it's always the same person. I always call my mom. And I said to her, well, imagine, it's a line, I'm gonna cross the world.
To prepare for her trip across the world, Marquis spent 2 years walking. She meticulously studied all of the terrain and researched what equipment she would need. She also modified her diet to gain weight.
So you can plan as much as you can, but then you have to let it go. This is two different worlds where you plan everything, but then when you do the first step, you have to let it go and be ready for the unknown. I'm in Australia, and I just make a cup of tea.
Marquis documented the trip. You get a sense of how isolated she was and see how self-reliant she had to be.
So I need to make a fire every night.
You also get a sense of how connected she was with nature.
I'm going from one world to another, from the human world to the nature world, and cross this little bridge and come back here and say, hey guys, we are capable of so much, but we don't not experience the strengths we've got inside us most of the time.
Where do you think the majority of people misplace their focus?
We don't really understand then how the surviving starts with our mind. Life is short, we don't know when it's going to end. So we need to eat every minute, we need to go for it, we need to actually enjoy every second of it.
Long before she started her journey, Marquis picked this tree as her stopping point.
So my little tree is here, when the land stops and the water begins. And this tree, I made this tree 10 years ago, and I talked to the tree, I camped there, and I said to him, darling, I will be back. So I kept my promise.
Do you remember the first time you saw it after the 3 years?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was. I knew that was that tree. You know, it's kind of magical to actually walk 3 years to get to that tree. This is my connection with the land.
About 2 years after finishing her journey, Marquis was on to her next adventure in southwest Australia. Each trip allows her to see the world and explore what she's really made of.
Do you learn something new with each journey?
Yes, definitely. It's really a humbling road. It's a long process. It's a painful process most of the time. But the reward from that journey, from every journey, it's so deep and so amazing. Coming back here, being alone for so long, I actually understand people better because I know myself now.
I mean, she's such an interesting woman. Obviously, a lot of people could not do what she does. And there's a lot of danger involved. She basically told us at some point she had to hide from people who wanted to attack her during this trip.
So interesting that there's both an external journey for her and an internal journey.
Yeah.